if you're a chocolate lover and you love having something chocolatey and sweet sometimes at night, you have to give these a try. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds by making healthier versions of some of my favorite foods. Growing up, I used to love having Three Musketeers and Snicker bars and Twix. So today we are making like a very simple, I'm talking about 2 ingredients simple Three Musketeers, okay? And these are the 2 little ingredients that we're gonna need. So you'll need some Cool Whip. This is the sugar-free, and then we have sugar-free chocolate chips. I'm using the milk chocolate just to make obviously like a milk chocolate bar, but you can also use dark chocolate if that's what you want. I'm just gonna get right into it because I'm telling you, you're gonna see how easy this is and you're gonna be blown away. So we're going to melt some chocolate. And I'll leave these chocolate chips linked in the description below. I have a discount code for them as well. You could do the double broiler, I'm kind of lazy, so we're gonna do it in the microwave. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in for about 20 seconds. You wanna be really careful when you're melting your chocolate chips. Chocolate chips are really, really sensitive. If you burn it, there's not really like a reverse, like it's done. So it's kind of ruined. So it's better to be a little bit more patient, mix it, put it back in, mix it, put it back in, okay? So we're gonna do 20 seconds, give it a little mix, even though it's still gonna look like this, like they're gonna be literal little chocolate chips. I know, it almost seems pointless, but trust me, you wanna do this because you just wanna distribute the chocolate chips and make sure that the ones that were at the bottom go to the top. Look at what it looks like when it comes out. So it looks like it's not melted, but then you go in there and you're just gonna finish melting it, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it to finish melting it, and then we'll move on to the next step. This is what we're looking for. Nice and silky chocolate. If you do a double broiler, you don't really risk burning your chocolate chips. I mean, you still can, but it's not as easy as with a microwave. So now we're taking our 0 sugar Cool Whip. This is not a clean dessert, guys. No. There might be a clean Cool Whip though. I think maybe like a coconut Cool Whip or something like that. This one is not. This is a 0 sugar that I just got at my local grocery store. If you are worried about that, then just find a clean version of the Cool Whip. I'm just showing you how easy it is to make this 2 ingredient chocolate bar that is low carb, it is weight loss friendly, diabetic friendly. You know, if you're living a low carb lifestyle, you can still enjoy something that is super yummy like this. And you wanna fold it instead of mixing because you wanna try to leave it as fluffy as you can. Okay, so we're gonna need a little bit of parchment paper. I always add a little bit of oil just because it helps the parchment stick. So I have these little parchment sheets. Okay, see how it doesn't come up? I love that. We love that for us. And then this is what it's gonna look like. Okay, so it's kind of fluffy, like it's not liquidy or anything like that. And now we're gonna pour it right in. You can always make a double batch of these, or you can also make a smaller batch. And the way this is right now, like before we put it into the freezer, it tastes absolutely amazing. Like you can totally eat it at this step right now, but we're gonna take it over the top, okay? We are gonna be extra and literally take this dessert over the top. And in here, we are going to spread it out. So you can make it in a smaller dish if you want it like to have more height, but this is gonna be perfect. I feel like it resembles the height of like a traditional chocolate bar. So I'm gonna put this into the freezer for about an hour or so. And then once this has set, you will see the final step where we dip it in chocolate and oh my God, wait until we cut into it and you see that beautiful texture. Alrighty. Okay, so these have been in the freezer for about, I would say about an hour and a half because I was doing some other stuff. But usually it just needs to be in there for about an hour. Okay, and this is the consistency. So this is basically what it's gonna look like. I tried to flatten it out, but you know, it was inside of the baking dish, so it was kind of hard for me to do it, but it's gonna be good enough. Now, if you want this to be thicker, then you're just gonna wanna use a smaller dish, okay? And then you'll have a thicker bar, or then double it. That's the other alternative to a thicker bar. But this right here is pretty much gonna resemble like a Snicker bar, a Mars bar, what other bars? You know, like a chocolate bar, okay? And now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut. And you can make these into bite size. You can make them into snack size, like whatever, you know. It really is just personal preference. Just gonna try to make these pretty even. And then the next step is to dip them into our chocolate. So I've already melted the chocolate. I have it here. And you wanna work pretty fast just because obviously we're working with Cool Whip and with chocolate. Make sure it is fully coated. Okay, so now we're just gonna lay it down on the parchment paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest, and then I will show you the final product, but these are gonna go back into the freezer, okay? So I'm just gonna lay them out just like this, right onto the parchment, okay? And I'm gonna do that for all of these, and then I'll show you once I'm done. Okay, so this last one was a little more difficult to roll into the chocolate. So you definitely want to move fast, okay? These are big. These are just, again, I wanted them to be like full-size bars. And so of course, putting them into the chocolate, rolling them, it can get a little messy. These were perfect. The last two were a little more, you know, it was a little more challenging. But anyway, at the end of the day, all you want is to cover it with chocolate. So whichever way you want to do it, you can pour the chocolate on top, you can just drizzle it, you can make them smaller and then just kind of dunk them and then put them right onto your parchment. Like if you want bite size and just more for portion control. This here, obviously, look at how huge these are. They are a full size bar. Actually, I feel like these are even bigger. This is like the king size, okay? So we made king size bars. But anyway, I'm gonna put these back into the freezer so that the chocolate could freeze over them. And then it's basically kind of like an ice cream treat, okay? So it's I would say a cross between like an ice cream, like a chocolate ice cream bar and just like a nice cold chocolatey treat, if that makes sense. But anyway, these are gonna go in, and once these set, I'm gonna go ahead and cut them and show you the texture inside. All right, guys, here they are. They look like a full-size bar, right? If you wanna do something or you know you're not gonna get carried away because these are super delicious, okay? Warning, these are very delicious. They just have a very unique texture and the flavor is so good. You can obviously portion them out. So cut them a little smaller and then you can store these. Put them in a Ziploc bag, put them into a like a glass container. All right, so let's go ahead and cut into it. Okay, so we can see the texture. Look at this. So it's not completely frozen, even though it's been in the freezer. It just has like this soft, creamy, I mean, just think Cool Whip. You know the texture of Cool Whip. It is airy and fluffy, creamy, and then it's mixed in with the chocolate. So it's like a chocolate Cool Whip and then dipped in chocolate. Guys, cheers. I've been waiting all day for this. It is so chocolatey, so creamy. I love the milk chocolate, but you can totally make this with dark chocolate. Oh my gosh. Okay, this, I'm trying to describe the texture. The inside, it's creamier than like a Mars bar, but the texture is so similar. And then you have the outer, it's almost like that magic shell. So it gives you like a cross between like you're having a candy bar and you're having an ice cream bar. You guys have to try this. If you are a chocolate lover, okay, and there's some people out there that don't like chocolate, so that's why I say this, but if you're a chocolate lover and you love having something chocolatey and sweet sometimes at night, You have to give these a try. I would just, for portion control, okay, I'm just warning you right now. I'm warning you right now. Portion control, because these are they're addicting. But I'm gonna leave the recipe in the description below. If you have family that are diabetic, these are diabetic friendly. Everything's sugar free, so take advantage of it, because a lot of things that are super, super delicious are not completely sugar free. Guys, if you like this idea and this video, make sure you hit that like button. And don't forget to hit the little bell notification so that you're reminded every time I post a video just like this one. But guys, thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.